So hello everyone, this is Priyanshu Gupta here. So in this video, we will see how we can generate PDF dynamically. Like as soon as the user clicks on the generate PDF button, then what we will do is instead of storing PDF on our S3 bucket or directly on our server, instead of storing PDF somewhere, what we will do is we will directly generate the PDF at that instance only and extracting data from database and then putting the data into our PDF. We will generate the PDF, like then the PDF will start downloading instantly, or we can show the PDF where the user will be having an option to download that PDF. So we will be creating that functionality in our Django project in this video. Let's take the example of creating a tax invoice. Like suppose if a user buys something from our website and then we have to mail the user the PDF for that order, or directly like as soon as the user completes that order, the tax invoice will be downloaded in the form of PDF on the user system. So how to add that, like how to create that functionality? One way is to store that order tax invoice somewhere on our storages, like creating that tax invoice in backend, and then we will store that PDF somewhere, and then as later on if he wants that PDF, we will directly render it from some storage. Okay, one way is that of handling, but that way will take the space of storing that PDF and that will take our memory, so it will generally increase our cost. So instead what we can do is, we have all the information of that order in our database, right? So what we can do is, if the user wants the PDF for that order later on in future, what we can do is we can directly get the data from database, and at that single time only we can generate the PDF for that user. So let's see how to create that functionality in the Django project. So without wasting time, let's get started. So here I have opened my VS Code, and here I have already written the code for you, which you can get from GitHub. I will provide the link in the description box. But before opening that link, let's understand how it works. So please don't open the link before seeing this video, because there may be chances that you directly copy the code and you will fall into certain errors. So to avoid those errors, because I've already tried all the test cases and scenarios, so let's see how it works. So first we have to import certain libraries here. First is from IO import bytes.io, and IO is by default you will be having this in your virtual environment. Then from django.http import http response, from django.template.loader import get template, and then you have to pip install this library called xhtml2pdf. So this library is using report lab library in backend, which you will not be shown. So when you install this xhtml2pdf, report lab library will also be automatically installed on your virtual environment. From here, from this library, we will be using PISA library here, and then we will be using import OS. Let's move further, and here I have created this endpoint called generate invoice. We will see two types of functionality here. First is, as soon as the user completes his payment for the order, as soon as he places the order, he will be shown one button. On clicking on that button, like the button will display like download the invoice for this order. As soon as the user clicks on that button, the tax invoice in the PDF format will be downloaded in the user system. So for doing that, we have created this functionality called generate invoice. And other thing is, what we will add in this project is, like as soon as the user completes his payment, like as soon as he places his order, what we will do is we will mail the tax invoice on his mail ID. Okay, so we will be adding these both functionalities in this video. Let's handle first the button functionality. So for that, I have created this API called generate invoice, and in this I have overridden this function called define get. Also, what you can do is you can create a function based view as well. Inside this, what I am doing is I am getting the order. Like suppose the user places the order, and we have to get this primary key as well. Like we will make a get request, and as soon as the user makes a get request to this endpoint, he will also have to provide the primary key. So this primary key is basically the ID of the order that the user has created. Okay, because every record in database has his primary key as ID. So Django automatically makes a primary key for the order, for each record of the order. So we will be using that ID to filter out that order record from database. So for filtering, we have passed this primary key in the URL, and then we will filter the order record from order table. For filtering, we will use a try catch block, because because when we use this get instead of filter, then it generates only a single record, and if it's not present in the database, the query that we have mentioned here, then it will generate some error. So that's why to handle that error, we have used a try except block here. So we will use this id equals to primary key and user equals to request.user. So that, why we have used user equals to request.user, because suppose if another user comes on our website and tries to access this generate invoice, and then he passes the id, he randomly passes some id in the URL, then he will get access to that PDF. So we don't want that. So for allowing only that user that creates that order to access the PDF of tax invoice, we will use this like filtering of this user equals to request.user and then payment status equals to 1, because this is very important. Because if the user payment gets failed in between, then there is no need to create a tax invoice for that specific record that we have created in our database. Because if the user's payment fails, then there will be some record in database. That order needs to be placed in database, because that might be important for the backend team to manage some payments or anything else. Like if user has some queries regarding that payment that has already been made, then the backend team can check out and verify with that. So we cannot delete those records here. So that's why we are using filtering of payment status equals to 1 for those payments for which the payment status is 1 and 1 is success. Okay. So for understanding how we are making this payment status 1 and 2 like success and failure, you can check out my previous video in which I have added a Razorpay payment gateway on our Django project, and I have also added the functionality for placing the order. So let's move further, and here I am passing some data to our template. This is the data that I am creating in a dictionary format. So here I have provided the order ID, the transaction ID that Razorpay provides us. So if you are using a Razorpay payment gateway, then this will be it. And our model, if you want to access the model for our Django project, like you can use this method for creating a dynamic PDF for a different use case as well. Like if you do not want this use case for a tax invoice only, you want this functionality for some other use case, then also you can pass the data in this format, and you can implement this in the same way that I am showing you here with some customization that you want to make. Okay, like I'm filtering here from order table, then in your use case maybe it's different model, so you can do that. So there are certain fields here, and in our models.py file, in our order model, we have all these fields like user status, total, payment status, all these things. So we will be passing this details here, like orderdb.order_id, orderdb.razorpayPayment_id, orderdb.user.email, because we have a user field as a foreign field in our order table. Then we have provide date here, name, order amount. Okay, so basically we will be passing this data in our template that we have created for tax invoice. So now we will use this, which is PDF equals to render to PDF, and we have make one invoice template here, like what will be downloaded on the user system. We have created a HTML file for that, and we will be converting that HTML file into PDF, and we will be using this function called render to PDF that we have created. I will show you that later. So here we are using this render to PDF function to convert this invoice.html file, like this file, invoice.html file, and we will convert this HTML file into PDF. And here I will pass all the data to this PDF. So what is this invoice HTML? I will show you here. So this is a simple HTML file, and here I have added some style to here, like CSS here, and then we will add the basic details like our website name, vendor shop, then invoice, then we will add some basic things that are there in the tax invoice of any website, like mail to company@example.com, then our website URL. Then we will add some details like client name, email, date, invoice ID, transaction ID. So here we have taken invoice ID as order ID and transaction ID as the Razorpay ID that we have provided here. Okay, then client email, and all the data is coming from the data that we have passed here, like in name, date. So all the data is coming here that we have passed in the template. Then what we will do is to display all the order details, like products and order details. Like if user has purchased some products in the order, then to display all the products in that order, we are using this for loop here, and we will iterate through this, like for I in order dot product in order underscore set dot all. So this is the way you have to access the child elements of the parent class. Okay, so basically this product in order has, so if we go to in our models.py file and go to product in order, we have a foreign field of order here, like order equals to models.foreign key. But how you will access this product in order from this order table? So for accessing this product in order from this order, you have to use this syntax called product in order underscore set. So basically one order contains many product in order. So basically it is a many to one field. Okay, foreign field is used for creating a many to one field. That's why we are using the syntax order dot product in order underscore set, which will give us all the product in order that are related to this order. We will get all these things, and we have to also use this dot all. Okay, this will give all the product in orders that are present in that order. Then we will iterate through this, and we will display the product I dot product, I dot quantity, I dot price. Okay, which we have mentioned here in product in order, which has all the fields here like product, quantity, and price. So we will be getting all those details here through this, and then we will give the total amount, so which we have passed in data here, like through this amount colon order db dot total amount, and then we have mentioned all values are in INR. So basically this is our basic template, and using this render to PDF function, we will be converting this HTML file into PDF format. And how this render to PDF function works, I have made a function here, render to PDF, and in this I have used template equals to get template, template src, which we have passed here, then HTML file equals to template dot render context dict, then result equals to bits io. So basically we are using this bits io and PISA library of this XHTML to PDF to convert the HTML into PDF format. And what is this fetch resources, I will show you later on. Let's proceed further, and then if PDF is there, like if there is no error in creating this PDF, then it will generate a response. And here I am creating this HTTP response, but I am not directly creating this HTTP response because this is by this way what we are doing is we are creating a force download method. Okay, by this we are creating a force download. But if you want the user to have an option to download it on his own, like if he wants to download or not, then you can directly create this return HTTP response. So first I will show you how it works. So let's comment this, control save, and here also I have to provide this. Then let's create the order. Suppose I am a user and I am on this website, and currently I have logged in with the email ID called priyanshu.gupta2008@gmail.com. So if I create this order, like for after creating this proceed for payment, I will be displayed the payment summary page, then I will pay, then you have to pass the phone number here. So I will pass the phone number here, dummy phone number, then proceed. Then you can choose any method here because currently we are on test mode, so there's nothing to worry about. Then it will show you a dummy page here, so I will click the success button. It will success my payment. So basically it takes some time, and why it is taking time I will show you later on. Order is created now, and for this order the ID is this. Like if I go to my admin panel here and go to my first tab, then in orders, the ID for this is 34, which we have created recently, the order that we have created recently. So for that the record ID is 34. So with that, like all the details are displayed here. So with this ID, we will generate the invoice. So to access the generate invoice endpoint, we have a generate invoice. So we have to pass the primary key as the order ID here. So if I write 34 here, then it will display me the PDF here. Like it is not downloading automatically. The user has now option to download this PDF or not. Okay. Like he can download this PDF by clicking on this button, which is present here on this browser. Like by clicking on this button, he can download the PDF. So this is the way. But if you want to do the force download method, then you can comment this and you can uncomment this, control save. And now if I again go to this URL, like I press enter on this URL, then it will automatically download. See, the invoice is downloaded on my system here. And now if I click on this system, then it will be displayed over here. So this is the difference between this. So you can adjust this according to your own, whatever suits you. So in this way, we have generated this invoice. But one thing I have to mention here, which is rendering an image to the PDF. Like if you want to render the image on your PDF, like here I am adding the logo for this website, for our website Wondershop. If you want to render this image on this text invoice, then what you have to do is you have to follow certain things. Like here, as we are calling this function render to PDF, then what it will do is, and also you can check this in invoice.html file, we have included one image file here like this. So if you are adding the image file using this way, like if I comment this one and I pass the image URL here like this, source equals to static slash first step. So basically we are storing the in static folder, the logo.png file. So in static folder of our first step, we have stored the image as in this folder, static first step, then images, then logo.png. So here it is stored. So if I pass this source URL here directly, so you have to use this called link callback URL. You have to call this link callback URL. So what this will do is it will call this fetch resources function, which we have mentioned here. So it will try to find the static URL from settings.py and then try to render from there. But currently what is happening is I am facing some issues here. Like if I use this link callback URL, then my image file is not being rendered to the PDF. Like suppose I show you here, like suppose I uncomment this and use this instead of this. Okay, I am using this and now I comment this one. So basically this is a syntax for commenting in Django template. And now I uncomment this. Okay, now I am uncommenting this, and let's again try to render this PDF. And then as soon as I click on the enter button on this, then it will start downloading. And if I click on this invoice, then you can see here the image is not displayed here. Like above Wondershop, the image is not displayed as it is shown here. So the image is not being rendered to our PDF file. So I don't know why it is not working, because when I used it earlier, it was working perfectly, but now it's not working. So anyone, if you are executing this and if you find solution for this, then do tell me in comment section box. Okay, because I have searched on Stack Overflow, GitHub, everywhere. Like many users there have commented that you have to encode your image file into base64 and then you have to do all the processing here. But I have done that also, but then also I am not getting the results. So what I have checked out is, like if we comment this link callback and if we do not comment this, like even if we use this and we provide the link as a source for this here for image field as such that I have done here. Like what I have done is I have hard coded the complete URL from my root directory also, then it's working. And here if I also provide the link for this, like suppose I provide the link for static, like even if I provide the link for this whole path, like if I provide this whole path here, then also it's not working. Like if I hard code this complete URL here from my root directory, then also it's not working. Like suppose I provide here like this form, in this format. And in first project I have first app. Okay, even this is not working. So I don't know why it is not working, but as soon as I remove this and place this logo.png in the same directory, in the same directory of my templates folder. Like I have added this logo.png file in the same directory of first step where I have this templates folder. So as soon as I add this logo.png and I hardcode this complete URL here from my root directory, then it's displaying me image. Okay. And now if I click on this control save, sorry, I have to provide the first step also because it's inside first step. Control save, and then I again access this endpoint again and again try to download this invoice. Then you can see the images rendered in our PDF. So if you get the solution for that, do tell me in comment section box. Okay. So this is how you have to add the image, by adding the image in the same directory of this templates folder. Okay. And then we will be adding the functionality for emailing this PDF of text invoice to the user as soon as he done the payment. Okay. So for that, what we have to do is, like, we have to add certain things in our handle request. Like if the user payment is successful, then this API will be called by a Razorpay or any other payment gateway that you are using. And then what you can do is you can use this code, okay, for generating invoice PDF. So here the code starts for emailing this PDF from here to here, from here to here. Okay, this is the code for emailing. And for emailing, what we have to do is we have to do certain things here. Like first we have to use get template to access the template for invoice.html, then which is the same HTML file that we are using earlier in our generate invoice endpoint. And then we will pass the same data that we are passing here, like here it is the same data here. And then we will use HTML equals to template.render data, then result equals to bytes IO. So basically this is the same functionality that is being done by this. Okay, what I have done, instead of calling this render to PDF function here, I have copied all these things and placed here. Okay, here we are doing all the processing here. Or what you can do is call the render to PDF function here, but instead what I have done is I am doing this by myself here by copying all that code here. And then PDF equals to result.get value, and then we will create a file name, because we have to, if we are creating a PDF and then attaching it to our email, then we have to give it a name. Okay, we have to give certain name to that PDF. So we are giving the PDF name as this invoice underscore and then order ID that we are creating by our own. Okay, .pdf file. And this is the mail subject here, recent order details. Then we are creating this message, the email message. So for that we are using this render to string, which is a normal syntax that we are using earlier, which I have shown you in the video called send emails to users, that you can check on my series called mastering Django on my channel. So here I have added another HTML file called this first step / payment / email invoice, because our email message will have certain body, and then we will attach one more PDF file to that email. And for that attachment also we will be converting the HTML file into PDF. And here we are, for generating the body, we have used another HTML file called email invoice, which I have placed here. In payment, there is email invoice.html file, and in this email invoice.html file I have also passed them some data here, which is this user and order. And then we will be rendering some details here, like for your order with order ID this, your order consists of this, all these details here, then order will reach you in this. Okay, we are passing all these details here. And then after we have received that message, we will do two email. We will take the email from the order db.user.email from the user's entered email address, and then we will generate this email called email equals to email message, mail subject, message, and settings.email host user. So if you don't know how to do all this stuff, I have already shown you in my video. So basically, for sending the email, you first have to create an app on your Gmail account, and then you will get one password there, which you have to place in your settings.py file, which I will show you now. In settings.py file here, you will get you have to place all these details here, like SMTP settings here, email backend, email use TLS, then smtp.gmail.com, that email host user. I am using this email ID for sending all the emails, and then the password will be generated at that time only, which will be shown only for one time. So you have to keep that password safe. So basically I am using this .env file to secure my settings files, because I will be adding all these code to GitHub. I have added this .env file in gitignore file because I am not sharing the details with other users. So you have to place your password here, and then you have to attach that PDF which we have created earlier here, the PDF. You have to place that PDF here through this email.attach. So for attaching that PDF, you have to use this email message. Okay, the email message you have to import here. You will be using this email message here, django.core.mail. Okay, and you will attach, and then you will render the template. Okay, render request comma first tab payment success.html, and here you will pass the order ID here. Like suppose if a payment success page is shown there, then if you want to provide a button there for downloading the PDF, then you can provide there also as well. So for that, what you can do is in payment success.html file, what you can do is here you can provide one button here. So I am adding the button here. So here I have added the button with a tag here, and I have passed the URL for generate invoice. So this URL basically is for generate invoice, the view that we have created earlier, this generate invoice, so that the user has the option to download the PDF at that point only. Like as soon as he will be shown the payment success page, there we are providing the button for creating the invoice so that he can download that PDF for tax invoice at that time only. And also we will be sending the email in which we will be attaching the tax invoice. So user will get the option for downloading PDF from email as well as from there as well. Okay, so here is the button, and now we will proceed. So now let's go again to our display cart page, and then let's again proceed for payment. So we will click on this proceed for payment, then click on pay now, then we will do the payment through Razorpay payment gateway, and let's add this phone number here. Since I have not added the phone number for this user in the database, so that's why Razorpay is asking me to write the phone number here. So I will write the phone number here, then click on proceed, then choose any method here, then success. So it will take some time because all the processing is going in backend to generate the PDF and sending that PDF attached with the email. So now there is a button on this template which is print invoice. So if I click on this print invoice button, then we can download the PDF here from here. So now the PDF with image is rendered here and now downloaded on my system. So now if I go to my Gmail account and see the email has come or not. So if I go to my Gmail account with the email ID that I have logged in on this website. So basically I have used this email ID of mine, which is priyanshu.gupta2008@gmail.com. And here, if I refresh this page, so basically these are all the mails that have arrived earlier when I was testing the code. And now you can see the message that is received now. So basically this is it. So here the message has come in the exact way which I have written the code in my template, like hi, your order, because currently I have not added the name for this user in the database, that's why there is no name here. Your order with order ID this has been placed successfully. Then your order consists of all these products. So it is here, and now I have also received the PDF here, and now I can download this PDF as well from here. And now if I click on this PDF, then you can display here. So I have covered all the things that I have told in starting to cover in this video. I hope you like the video, and if you like the video, do hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel, because I am uploading videos which are point to point and I'm trying to cover each and every topic in depth so that you understand the concept. Instead of getting the code only, you understand the concept. So you can check out my series which is Mastering Django on my channel, and also you can check this playlist which I am making, which is only targeting to payment gateways and related to that. Like if you want to focus on this tax invoice only related to payment gateways, then you can access that playlist. And if you want to understand the Django, because I am adding these first two videos of this series called adding payment gateway to Django in my series called Mastering Django, because in that project also we are covering each and every topic. So you must know all these concepts as well. So you can access my those playlists, and you can explore my channel and check out my other playlists as well. So if you like the content, do subscribe to my channel and do provide some support, because I want to help all those developers who are tackling with these problems and are not finding any point-to-point solutions to these on internet, because on internet the materials are very scattered. You have to explore a lot and you have to waste a lot of time just to get one thing. So here I'm trying to provide you a exact point-to-point content in my videos. So that is all in this video. So thank you and see you next time.